LEGO have released a ton of LEGO Star Wars sets throughout the years, and logically some of them fly under the radar. Because of that, I want to show you 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that in my opinion are underrated and don't get the recognition or praise they deserve. These sets are in no particular order, and if you know more sets that you would consider underrated, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. If you'd like to see more of this content, I would highly appreciate a like and subscribe. But now let's get started with the very first set on this list, and it's set number 7255, General Grievous Chase. While this set is not the only one based on the iconic scene from Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, it is quite certainly the only one to include the Boga. And I don't really get why LEGO never remade this creature, as it is a very important part of the scene, and also a very cool looking one in my opinion. The minifigures from the set are solid, but of course a little dated as the set originally released in 2005. You get a very old version of Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Episode 3 look. He has a cape but no leg printing and yeah, overall looks pretty old. General Grievous on the other hand is pretty cool though, as he also has this really cool cape that also has his logo printed on the back. Imagine if LEGO would still put this kind of effort into cloth pieces and capes in the LEGO Star Wars theme. Yeah, we could have gotten some amazing minifigures with this. I also love the box art with the Vader on top. This whole set gives off a very nostalgic vibe and it almost screams at you that it got released in 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out. The wheel bike, yeah, looks also a bit dated, but it has these really cool printed pieces and overall it's pretty solid for the year it came out. Next up we have set number 4481, Hailfire Droid. This is one of the old LEGO Star Wars Technic sets and in my opinion probably the best of this line. It kind of works as a placeholder for a UCS version that we likely won't ever see from LEGO, as this vehicle is just not known enough. While this set doesn't come with any figures and it's also a pretty Technic heavy build which I'm not the biggest fan of, I have to say it looks amazing, especially when you're considering that it came out in 2003. This set often gets overlooked as a great display piece just because it doesn't have the term UCS slapped onto the box, which I feel like is kind of unfair. The size of this thing is incredible, it looks super cool on display and has some really amazing details. The cannons are phenomenal and the whole droid can actually roll with the big wheels, which is super cool. In my opinion, a super overlooked and underrated set, especially for fans of the bigger UCS type display sets, which is also why I want to add it to my collection sometime in the future. The next one is gonna be the last very old set on this list, but I just love the look of it. Set number 7665, Republic Cruiser, released in 2007 and still holds up pretty well in my opinion. It is the only version of this very iconic ship from the opening scene of The Phantom Menace, and it's crazy to me that we never got a proper update of this vehicle. Yeah, we got the Clone Wars version of this ship as the Republic Frigate, but red in this one just hits different. It's pretty huge, especially when being compared to some modern sets, and the vibrant red is a very welcome pop of color on the shelf between all the grey ships in the Star Wars universe. It also has a really cool play feature with the escape pod directly under the cockpit, and a solid interior for a set being this old. Because of its age, the figures are pretty mediocre. You get a green astromech droid, a Republic captain and pilot, which yeah, don't really look that much like Star Wars, and also Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. I once again love the box art from this set, and I even have the box on display because of this. I don't know if it's nostalgia alone, but the old box arts, man, they just hit different. I feel like most of the people just talk about the Republic Frigate from the Clone Wars because of the Wolfpack Trooper and Commander Wolfie, and yeah, it has better figures, but trust me, this one is awesome as well. Moving on to the next one, and it's set number 40557, Defense of Hoth. While the LEGO Star Wars accessory packs had a very small lifetime of just 2 sets, I think this one got overshadowed by the Clone Wars one. People wanted to army build the Phase 1 clones so bad, and it was so hard because of the limited amount and they were kind of more sold out than available online, that the hype about the set overshadowed the quality of the Rebel one. The minifigures in this Hoth pack are freaking amazing. Super cool prints and a variety of phases open up the possibility to swap some parts around and create even more unique Rebel soldiers for your army. When it comes to the builds, the cannons with battery packs are cool and the turret is also a good choice for this pack. If you didn't want the bigger cannons, you could just simply take them apart and LEGO basically gifted you a total of 6 extra blasters which they used as legs, which is also freaking amazing. And I really wish that I would have bought more of these sets as they are really good for improving your Rebel army numbers, if anybody even army builds those, which by the way is also super underrated. Staying on Hoth, we have set number 75306, Imperial Probe Droid. I personally quite enjoy the buildable characters line from LEGO, and this is one of the examples why. The Probe Droid is a very cool looking thing in the Star Wars universe, and LEGO translated this look into bricks really well. This model looks stellar from every angle, you can post the arms which is neat, and the overall set just works as a display model. I also love the snowy base and that the display plaque is covered in snow, it just creates the right environment for this droid to be displayed in. You can pair the set with the UCS AT-AT, AT-AT driver helmet or basically anything on Hoth, and I can almost guarantee you that it will give off a nice display on your shelf. I think when the set got released, some people complained that LEGO should have chose black for the main color instead of dark bluish grey, but I totally understand where LEGO's decision is coming from, and honestly, they might be correct. While the LEGO dark bluish grey is a little light, I don't think the droid looks black in universe, so yeah, this might be the best choice. But nonetheless, I don't care if it's black or grey, the model looks great no matter what color. The LEGO Star Wars buildable figures were probably one of the worst received and worst selling subline that LEGO ever created, especially in the Star Wars theme. However, even this subline has its gems, and set number 75112 General Grievous is one of them. The droid-like characters were pretty much ideal for the Technic bricks, and this is why Grievous is probably the best looking figure. The only competition he has is K2SO, but otherwise I think Grievous takes the throne. He has an awesome print on his chest piece and got an amazing head mold which doesn't look goofy because Grievous is a cyborg and a human. He comes with his 4 lightsabers and 4 extended arms, which makes him look badass, and the only thing that I could really wish for would have been a cape. Imagine how cool that would have looked. The whole set works really well as a display piece overall and makes me want to see a remake of the old UCS General Grievous. This set is also used as a great base for a lot of improved mocks that make this Grievous even more suited for display. The buildable figure Grievous can be a really cool eye catcher on your shelf in my opinion and is quite underrated because of the popular dislike that this subline has received. But just because most of the other figures were pretty lackluster or awful, don't let this blind you from overlooking a really amazing display piece. The next set is from one of the most underrated movies when it comes to LEGO Star Wars sets. Set number 75209 Han Solo's Landspeeder is not only from an underrated movie but also a pretty underrated set if you ask me. Originally I just bought the set for the minifigures, but I quickly realized that the rest of the set is really neat as well. But let's start with the minifigs first. You get the younger version of Han Solo with some very detailed printing. He has dirt stains all over his legs and the torso printing for his jacket is also really cool. Kira has a similar dirt stained look on her legs as well, and I also really like the jacket with the fur part. You also get these cool little white creatures that I think are some kind of dog or wolf. If you know how these are called, please let me know down in the comments below. And they are also in the other Landspeeder from the set and I also quite enjoy them. But as I said, the figures are not the only cool part about the set. I like this vintage feel that the speeder has to it, if you kinda understand what I mean, and the color scheme with this dark blue and the white line gives off a very unique look. There's a nice amount of gripping on the side and overall it's a pretty detailed model. I think if you build a small mock for this speeder you can even more so display it really well and make it look like a really cool display model. The Solo box art is also one of the best that LEGO has ever created. The white base with the golden details looks so unique yet so cool, I love it. Another set with the same shade of blue which is just as underrated is set number 75233 Droid Gunship. While this isn't the first time that LEGO does this ship, it is certainly the best version they made yet. This gunship looks so damn aggressive and is loaded with bombs and missiles, a lot of laser guns and the front guns are fully rotatable. For the minifig part, the Kashyyyk B1 battle droids are a big highlight for the Separatists, and Yoda and Chief Tarful are a great duo for the opposing side of the Republic. I personally love the Battle of Kashyyyk and also the look of the Wookiee warriors, and Chief Tarful is such a great minifigure. He is big and has amazing printing on his armor which creates a very unique look. The only real nitpick I have with the set are the big stickers on the front of the main body. While they add some nice details, I'm never a fan of the use of stickers, especially of that size, but otherwise it's a pretty great model and overall a cool display piece. The second to last set on this list is set number 75275 UCS A-Wing Starfighter. This is one of the most underrated UCS sets ever and I feel like it is just because it's a rebel ship which tend to get overlooked pretty frequently. They blew the angles and proportions out of the water on this model. I love the sleek look of the set and the angle on the display stand is also chosen pretty well. The red and white design once again pops on the shelf and yeah, I'm a sucker for red and white ships and the cockpit section looks so damn good. Speaking of the windshield piece however, LEGO wanted you to apply sticker details there which looks nice when applied correctly, but stickers in a UCS set are ridiculous on their own and especially on a curved surface like this windshield piece. They can peel off so easily and are really hard to apply and I guess even LEGO knew this, which is why they included 2 sticker sheets if I remember that correctly. So you could fuck up one and yeah, then use the other one. Overall a super good looking display model that doesn't get the recognition it deserves. And I honestly don't know why and I still want it for my display. I bet there is still a good amount of underrated LEGO Star Wars sets out there, but for this video we have reached the last one. Set number 75091 Flash Speeder is the last underrated set on my list for this time, and I was shocked for how cheap this set seems to still go on the aftermarket. The Flash Speeder got released in 2015, which means it has the awesome Rebels box art, and in general the box for the set is really neat. But the highlight in the set for me is Captain Tarpals. He first of all uses the amazing headpiece from the Gungans and then gets some of the most ridiculously good looking printing I have ever seen on a LEGO minifigure. The printing on the torso and legs is cool, but look at those details on his head. The sheer amount is crazy. I love the mix of purple and brown and this looks so freaking cool that I'm honestly surprised that LEGO did this for such an unimportant character. Besides that you also get some B1 battle droids and some cool Naboo security guards, but the highlight for sure is Captain Tarpals. The Flash Speeder itself is also a very well designed build, with not many stats showing, but of course a green speeder is not the most special Star Wars vehicle that you will see as a LEGO set. But yeah, these were 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that I would consider underrated and not as well remembered as they would deserve it. Feel free to let me know your thoughts about these sets down in the comments below and also tell me some of the sets that you would consider underrated and that people don't talk about enough. Now I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate a like to support the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and other than that, have a great day.